AudioJungle.
Now, a joint drill with the US, Vietnam and Philippines destroyed China and South China Sea. The United States, Vietnam and Philippines accuse Beijing of unlawful maritime claims with five-day drill in South China Sea region. Vietnam and the Philippines have been the most vocal regional opponents to Chinese that overreach in the South China Sea region, and the Chinese also its disregard for boundaries outlined in international maritime law. Vietnam's foreign ministry says, violation of sovereignty may harm China's relationship with the ASEAN country. Says its Department of Defense, exercises near the Paracel Islands area break pledge not to militarize contested maritime the region. The US, Vietnam and the Philippines have lashed out at China and accusing it of coercion as Beijing launches a military drill in a disputed part of the South China Sea region. In a statement, the United States Department of Defense said it was concerned about the military exercises carried out around the Paracel Islands area from July 1 to 5 recently. China scheduled 5 days of drills from Wednesday near the Paracels areas, and the Vietnam has overlapping claims with China over the Paracels region. China calls them the Sisha Islands, and Vietnam refers to them as the Hoang Sa Islands. The action military exercise is the latest in a long string of People's Republic of China, and the actions to assert unlawful maritime claims. And they also do disadvantage its Southeast Asian neighbors in the South China Sea region, the United States Defense Department statement said. The People's Republic of China's actions stand in contrast to its pledge to not militarize the South China Sea area. And the U.S. vision of the free and open Indo-Pacific region, in which all nations, large and small, free from coercion, are secure in their sovereignty, and able to pursue economic growth consistent with accepted international rules and norms. The United States will continue to monitor the situation in South China Sea, and call on China to reduce its militarization and coercion of its neighbors in the South China Sea areas. The United States Pacific Fleet said littoral combat ship USS Gabrielle Giffords was conducting routine operations in the South China Sea area on Thursday yesterday. The Philippine Defense Secretary Delfin Lorenzana said the Philippines, Vietnam have also criticized China's military drill. China's exercises in the waters near the Paracel Islands region were highly provocative, Delfin said. And Vietnam's foreign ministry called them a violation of sovereignty that could harm Beijing's relationship with the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEAN. spokeswoman Lee Thai Thursday Hang said, the Vietnamese ministry sent a diplomatic note to China to oppose exercises that seriously violated Vietnam's country's sovereignty. She said that drills further complicate the situation and are detrimental to the relationship between China and Association of Southeast Asian Nations. The United States' criticisms came as Beijing and Washington were trading barbs over a wide range of issues relating to Xinjiang, Taiwan, and national security legislation in Hong Kong. Beijing has accused the American operations in the waters area of infringing China's sovereignty and militarizing the region. The Philippines and Vietnam have been vocal against Beijing's claims, and also military presence in the South China Sea region. And Vietnam is contemplating legal action against Beijing. In an Association of Southeast Asian Nations or ASEAN summit last month, Vietnam called for talks on the code of conduct for the disputed waters areas to be resumed. They were suspended because of the COVID-19. The Vietnam said in April ago that one of its fishing boats had been sunk by a Chinese maritime surveillance vessel. In the same month, Vietnam also protested against China in sending 2 diplomatic notes to the United Nations or UN that laid claim over the South China Sea areas. However, China said Vietnam's maritime claims were illegal, and the South China Sea Area's Strategic Situation Probing Initiative. On Friday ago, a media affiliated with Peking University said in a report that 692 Vietnamese fishing vessels had intruded into China's sovereign waters region in the South China Sea areas, up from 569 in May ago.